Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so we are going to the next topic then. Chief. Today is Saturday, it's a lot to be done. So I don't know what you're saying about this particular thing I sent to you. I don't know which app are you using to view it. Which app? Hello?
Okay, I said that no apple. I just click on it and it opens. Can you hear me, sir?
Hello?
I can hear you.
Are you using an Android phone?
No, I'm using an iPhone.
Okay. I don't I was got the app I wanted to see if they have it on iPhone. I only know about Android.
Huh?
So I will
I don't
have I
know.
will have created an app for you. That which is the app I use. The app is opens the document very clearly. It's very, very sharp. So I think because there was an app I tried to open the stuff with and it was not bright enough. Hello?
I can hear you now.
It's like your network is not stable.
It is. It's stable.
Okay, so after the class we'll talk about that. So let's continue. So
Okay.
I'm moving to the second topic, which is the processes of conflict resolution. When you want
Okay.
to resolve a conflict, please, if you're just joining, you're welcome. Keep liking and drop your comments, your reactions. Subscribe to the channel, very, very important. And if you know those that might need this particular teaching, you can share with them as well. So, the process for conflict resolution, the first one we have here is what? The cooperative approach. So this cooperative approach is what we call the win-win situation. Both parties win, nobody is losing and nobody is giving up anything. Okay. So in this win-win approach, solutions are sought for both sides to feel they have won. Okay. Yes. Um, I don't know if you have any example for something like this. Can you paint a scenario for this kind of conflict resolution whereby two people are dragging the same thing and then you in and you try to resolve it for them, creating a win-win reality. Can you really paint a scenario for us? I give an example when we did it in the last class where we were talking about a situation whereby people are fighting over land. We have land disputes, okay? There's a conflict over the ownership of a land or the use of a landed property, perhaps amongst family members or people that do have some kind of claims over the land. And we ended up coming up with a solution like, okay, why don't you use it for some time and then I come use it later? Okay. something like that. All right. So we can have a situation whereby people are, you know, dragging over something. You can ask them to share. You use it for this period. Maybe use it during the day. The other person uses it during the night. You use it this week. The other person will use next week. Okay. Or you can share it equally. All right. So whatever it is that you can do for both parties, the two grieving parties to feel like yes, we gained. You know, Speaking up was not in vain. Then you have created a win-win situation, and that is what a very good example of a cooperative approach. Okay. Then we also see here that cooperative approach builds trust and mutually beneficial options. So where there is a win-win situation, trust is built, whether it is between the two conflicting sides or between them and whoever is serving as the mediator. Okay. And of course, cooperative approach, to understand, thrives on effective communication. You cannot have a cooperative approach to conflict resolution where there is no effective communication. Effective communication is what fuels it. Okay. And of course, friendliness and helpfulness is also a key part of what a win-win situation. There is friendliness amongst the conflicting parties. So this happens. Maybe sometimes you can be a friend with someone, you can be in good terms with somebody, but have this, you know, disagreements with them. So this kind of approach will best fit because at the end of the day, you guys will still be in good terms. That is what a win-win situation does. Yes. Then we have here coordination of effort and high productivity. Coordination of effort and high, that is one of the characteristics of what a cooperative means of resolving conflict. There is always what coordination of effort. That means all the different parties, all right, end up what putting their resources together in order for them to get what they want to achieve. Then the last but not the least, constructive um, constructive, not destructive. The intention is always to be and not to destroy. Okay. Now, the other approach to resolving conflict is what we call the competitive approach. The competitive approach, and this is what they call the win lose. One person wins, the other person loses. Okay. Yes. So here there is one sided. One person wins at the expense of the other. We are both dragging something, and then at the end of the day, you are asked to leave it for the other person. That is what a competitive approach to what resolving conflict. Okay, so they call competitive approach to resolving conflict. Then we have increases animosity and distrust. That is one of the characteristics of what competitive approach. The other one, which is what cooperative, encourages friendliness and helpfulness. But this particular one encourages what? Competition. Then competitive approach uses power, authority, or influence. Uses power, authority, or influence. That means the person that is more powerful, the person that is more influential, the person that is more connected we have his way, while the other person loses out. Okay. Then we have obstructive communication. So in this place, there's no communication. You don't sit down with your rival to talk things out. Okay. You block them from approaching you, and then you use your influences behind the scene to deal with them. Please, if you're just joining, make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe. Very, very important. Then we have negative attitude and what suspicion. So where competitive approach comes in is where there is what negative attitude. Unlike in the other one where there is friendliness, okay, where there is also what coordinated effort. In this one, there is nothing like that. We have negative attitude, we have suspicion. And then in the other feature of competitive approach is what is generally considered destructive. So the idea is to destroy. It is not to build, it's to destroy, to overtake, to dominate. Okay? Now let's move to the next part of this particular topic, which is what the five conflict management styles, according to Thomas Kilman's model. Five conflict management style. So when you are a leader, as a manager who is meant to, resolve conflict, you can adopt any of this style. Number one, the competing. You can adopt competing. Here you use high assertiveness, low cooperation. Okay. So here you don't want cooperation. You want to assert yourself that this is what I want. For example, in my PhD program, they asked us to carry out a research on any organization of our choice, and we should find out the leadership structure of that organization, and then we'll now pick any leadership model of our choosing, and then see if we can apply that to that organization. So, and in my studies so far, I've seen that some organizations have this style of, the theory. Some of them apply the classical theories of um, management, okay, whereby human beings that are working as seen like the focus is on productivity, okay, not really on your well-being. Okay, they just want to see that you are doing your work and they are producing for them. So when you come in there, all they want to see is what you doing your work, putting in the effort. Do you understand? They don't really, I don't know. I'm sorry, I had to get the gate. Someone was at the gate. I didn't want them to be disturbing us with. So we have competing, okay? Competing. Here I talk about the high assertiveness and low cooperation. Okay, low cooperativeness. Then the second approach is what um accommodating. Accommodating, we have low assertiveness, okay. We have uh low assertiveness, and we have high competitiveness. Okay. So the knowing the difference is for competing high assertiveness, that means you pose yourself and limit cooperation with people, possibly those that are working under you or those that you are having a clash with. Then um we have accommodating. So an accommodating, the assertiveness is low. You don't assert yourself that much and you allow cooperativeness. So in this case, you are yielding, you are willing to let your guard down. Okay. Then we have avoiding. So in avoiding, you are low on both assertiveness and cooperativeness. You don't want to, involve yourself, and you also want to interact. I don't need any form of interaction. So in this case, you are avoiding. You want to be on your own. Okay, that's another way to, you know, manage conflicts. Okay, then we have collaboration. So in this place, you both involve yourself as you're both assertive and cooperative. So in this case, you are what it is both win-win. Here you are very much involved, you give your all, and you are also willing to cooperate. Okay. That is collaboration. Okay, then we have compromising. In compromising, you moderate both on what assertiveness and cooperation. So you don't do too much and you still don't allow so much. That is what compromising. So you are willing to let go a little and you expect the other party to let go a little. So, and all these methods are all good. The organization or the platform or the nature of the crisis as well, okay, and the individuals involved influences the approach you use. So there are some situations that competing will be the best, whereby you just have to have it your way. Now, other situation you will have to be accommodating, okay? You have to sacrifice more, okay, so that the other person can have his way at least for the meantime. And in some cases, you just have to stay on your own. Don't put mouth and don't listen or don't even just allow them be and also face your front, okay? In some cases, you have to when you are collaborating, you are bringing in 100%, the other person is bringing in 100%. So there is no need for me to leave it for you. There is no need for you to leave it for me. We can actually, both work it out. That is collaboration. Sometimes we hear people say collaborate, and you look at it, you see that it's just one person doing the work, and the other person is just there enjoying. That's not collaboration. When you are collaborating, you are bringing equal vibe. The energy is the same. Okay, we are gaining similarly, we are working similarly. All right. Then the last one is compromising. In this case, compromising is different from avoidance. In avoiding, you wash your hand like Pontius Pilate, you wash your hands completely, and you also don't entertain them. Okay, you don't entertain anybody, you don't throw yourself at anyone. But when you are compromising, compromise means that you reduce your expectation a little bit. Okay, expecting the other person to do the same. Okay, that is just it. So maybe what you could have given, let's say, an hour of your time. For example, we can have an issue whereby you are in a class. Let's assume that as a tutor, I had an agreement with you, and the agreement is okay. We're supposed to be having our class every maybe 2 hours per session, and something came up. It might maybe be from you as a student. You might have you have something urgent to attend to, and you're like, okay, sir, I am not going to be around today for the class. Okay, I said fine and good. If you're not going to be around, it's okay. You can go wherever you want to go, but please, I'm going to get my money. And like, the boss now, we're not going to do. I say no. I've already made plans, and I've already cancelled a lot of things. So even if you're not going to be around, there's barely little I can do with that time. So you can't just waste my time. You have to pay me. We can begin to talk about it. If we want to apply, that's a conflict there already. If we want to apply this compromising um pattern to it, I can say, okay, what I'm going to do is for you is I can still pay half, just pay me half, pay for half of the time. Let me just let go of the other one. So by doing that, I am losing something, I'm gaining something. You're also losing something, you're gaining something, obviously, because if you have paid the 2 hours, okay, it might have been a complete loss for you. Now you're paying for 1 hour. So the money for the other 1 hour is still like a gain to you. For me, if I have, you know, should have gotten all the money for the 2 hours, is a gain, complete gain for me. Now I'm not getting everything again. That's a loss to some extent, but at the same time, it's possible that I won't have gotten anything, okay, because I did not teach any class. So I look at it and be like, I still gain. So with that, you can see compromise coming in. All right. So basically, with that, we have come to the end of this class. Now, competitive approach should be encouraged over cooperative is supposed to be encouraged over competitive. All right. Do you agree? That's my question for you. You can answer. Do you agree that we should encourage cooperative over competitive? And to you, which approach seems to be the best?
To me, I feel um
Yes, you're live.
compromising.
I'm listening. Go on, I'm listening.
Okay. I feel collaborating.
Cooperative is the best. Anyway, okay, fine. I get that. But the first question I asked you was cooperative rather is to be encouraged instead of or ahead of competition. Do you agree? Do you think cooperative is better than competition? Or you feel they are the same or competition is actually better?
No, cooperative is better than competition.
Why do you say so?
Um, when you're cooperating with somebody, you get the job done. Like you guys put your like you put your idea, your opinion, and everything. The person to also do the same.
Is
But
that really what is that really what cooperation is supposed to mean in the context of what we are doing? Because from what I can see here, when you are cooperating, it means that you are letting go. You are being more, you are yielding, you are being more accommodating. That is practically what it looks like. You are willing to say, okay, if this is going to be the reason for our falling out, you can have it. That is basically what cooperation, being cooperative means here. You are willing to cooperate with the other person. Okay. Oh, fine
yeah,
and good. You are my friend. I can't allow a man to come between us. If it's going to be this man is going to be the problem between us, you can have him. That is the meaning of cooperative
cooperate.
in this context. So are you not saying it's better than competition? Yeah, you know, because in competition, you are saying no. I met him first. He's my man. You can't have him. No way. All right. And then in cooperation, is saying, you're my friend, my childhood friend. I can't allow this. Please, you can have the man. All right. So are you now saying better than standing
No,
up and owing?
no, competition is better.
Competition is better.
Yes, competition is better.
Oh, you're not serious. So you can see why it's good to pay attention when class is going on. You're telling me that cooperation is better. Yeah. Well, there are times that you need to be sacrificial, okay? But I believe that in life you have to be firm, okay? You shouldn't be too giving. I do tell people that I can never be a honey. hmm I can never be a bitter leaf. But you know what I am? Wine. So when you are honey, you are sweet, and they keep taking you, nobody comes in contact with you and not want to have you again. All right. And it's only a matter of time before you get exhausted. If you are bitter, a bitter cola, or even a bitter leaf, once people taste you, they won't want to come back again because they know that it's never going to be a good experience. But wine is tasty. But one thing about wine is that if you take it too much, it's gonna show you what it can do. By the time you begin to display and you find yourself in the gutter, do you understand? Next time they tell you to take wine indiscriminately, you'll be like, wait, let me take the one my system can handle. Okay, so in dealing with people, especially when the area of conflict is concerned, I believe that the best thing to do is be balanced, be moderate. Okay, because even in collaboration, you can still have issues. Because by the time you set your mind to collaborate with somebody and you are giving your 100%, and that person is not giving their own 100%, that can even be a bigger problem. Do you understand? So It's not in every situation you want to collaborate. You want to collaborate, you need to be sure that you want to collaborate with. Is that person going to, you know, give their own 100%? Do you understand? And are you going to be fair enough? Because sometimes it can be you that is a problem. Do you trust yourself to be honest enough to do what you're supposed to do? Those are the things that you need to, you know, understand before you can now begin to go into collaboration with people. So when you are not so sure, the best thing to do is to what is to, you know, be accommodating, compromise, be moderate. And then when you have a full understanding of what you are up against, you can now know where to, jump at, whether you're going to, compete, whether you're going to collaborate, whether you're going to avoid, or even if you're now going to go all out and collaborate. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
So what have you learned today before we call it a day? Have you really? Because I love my classes being applicable. It's not just about you coming to class to just read what is in the course material. That's why I have this discussion. I want you to be able to look at your life, even your immediate life, and then you see where you can apply most of these things. Because one thing about managing people and leading is that you can you don't even have to be in the midst of people to apply some of these things even in your life. Do you know that as a person you need to lead yourself first before you can lead other people? Okay, talking about conflict, you know that conflict is not just about different group of people and individual. There's what they call intrapersonal conflict. You can be in conflict with yourself as a person. Okay, you'll be having conflicting thoughts. One man is telling you to do this, another man is telling you to do that. How do you handle it? Okay, because at the end of the day, you're expected to take a decision or make a move that might even affect the life of other people. So you can see that these are discussions that you meet in your everyday life. So by the time we are done with every class, you're supposed to look into your life and see where to apply. That is how it gets to become part of you. But if we just, going through it as a task, because I have to do this so that I can be able to pass my examination, is not going to help well most times. So what have you learned? That'll be the last thing we're going to do before I end the live. What did you learn in today's meeting? Those in the comment section, let me see if there's anyone that has said anything.
Okay. I learned that conflict is should I say conflict is a dispute, a situation between two or more parties,
Mm-hmm. What
and
else?
then conflict resolution is resolving a problem, improving relationships, and also avoiding future conflicts.
Mm, very good, very good, very good. And do you have any issue of conflict going on currently in your life that you feel like you can apply one or two things you've learned in this class to solving?
You made mention of okay, you said dispute is different from conflict. The one I'm experiencing now is dispute. You made mention of dispute, like maybe siblings having little issue and all that. So that is what I'm
Yes,
facing.
siblings, right?
Yes.
Yes.
So that na normal now. Eh, siblings they must have one or two. So,
So
but
brother and
for
sister issues. I
eh,
understand.
but for
I
conflict, nobody
understand.
is free
But
for
are
that
you are
one.
you are you the elderly one? Are you among the elderly ones or you are
No,
the
I'm the
baby?
last. I'm the last too.
You are the last born. So
Yes.
that means you are the problem, right?
No, no, no.
Because last born,
Not
last born drama is not.
not
I
all
can
last
really
born. Not
understand.
all
Last
last born
born,
are,
their
are
problem.
stubborn or
Our own
troublesome.
last born.
Uh-huh.
The guy can just message you. You not even greet you. He just message you. I need money with authority. You just drop it, and he will send account number. I need this amount of money. This is my account number. Like, nothing like, oh, please, I'm doing, I need money for this in my school. He was very blunt. And
Oh.
he can collect from other, if he collect from me, he'll collect from other siblings of his. And if you're like, but I gave you money, why are you still taxing? Is your hair? Did I tell you to go and start telling that you gave me money? You can't imagine. But one thing about being a last born is that if you come from a family where you are loved, you will enjoy being a last born. If you come from a family where you are loved and you are pampered. But if you come from those kind of families I don't care kind of family, you know. So anyway, I believe that you have gotten enough wisdom for you to be able to handle whatever it is that is going on in your family. Okay, if it is something you need to be the one to let go. Okay, you need to compromise. You need to withdraw your assertiveness. You do that. If it's the one you need to compete and be like, I might be the last born here, but please, I'm gonna take no shit from anybody. Okay, you do that. So different stroke for different people. Whatever works for you, take it. So we're gonna see again some other time. Okay. Until then, enjoy the rest of
Okay.
your day.
Sir, please. Okay, I don't know if you can come on WhatsApp. I would like to ask you some things.
All right, straight
I will not
away.
take your time. All right, sir.